You're watching Novi Pulse, a show that lets you, the viewer, get an inside look at the trends and the people who run today's local and global businesses in the community of Novi. I'm Greg Chapman, and together we'll see what it takes to be a leader in Novi. Opened in 1988, Golf Tech is a golf store located on 10 Mile east of Meadowbrook with approximately 1,500 square feet of retail space dedicated to golf clubs, golf clothing, or other golf equipment for avid Michigan golfers. Golf Tech is Novi's premier golf shop, which is owned and managed by Jim Kitchen. Jim, good to have you here today.
How you doing, Greg? Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Hey, Jim, you know, I love talking to people who have followed in the footsteps of people who they truly admire. You had worked with your father initially, and can you tell us a little bit about, you know, your history, starting with college, kind of working your way through owning different businesses and then landing with your father?
Sure. Yeah, I find it a big thrill to work with my father. I admire him as well as my mother, and he was a Detroit police officer.
Oh, great.
And once he retired, he opened up the first store in Livonia. And that was while I was attending Western Michigan University. And I would come back for the summers and I would work inside the shop. Got some hands-on training early. And once I graduated in '90, I ended up using my marketing degree and going out to Brighton, industrial marketing, selling industrial retaining walls and brick pavers for a company there. And that's when I kind of decided that I wanted to work for myself, you know, kind of like what Dad was doing. So then I went and had an opportunity to start up an irrigation company, and that was located in Farmington Hills. And we worked that for about a year and a half, and I had sold that business to buy out two of my dad's partners. He had initially 3 investors in the first location, and I made it work and moved in with them on that Livonia location. I worked it for about 2 years, and then 2 years later, I ended up in Novi.
Okay. So what prompted that move from Livonia? I mean, your dad has been there since '88, and you know, you decided to make a change only after being there 2 years in the business. What prompted you to change?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could see the growth potential, and some of our current customers back in the Livonia location were moving out. Moving out of the Redford, Livonia area, moving out into the Novi, Northville area. So with that, we looked at a lot of different opportunities, a lot of different locations. So the growth potential was the main part, but then we did a TV commercial, and that was running on cable TV. So the market for the cable TV, the geographic area, was Redford, Livonia, Farmington Hills, and Novi. So I looked at as a benefit to go ahead and go out to Novi and have our advertising budget remain the same. So we're advertising for both locations, and you know, it's a business decision to keep the advertising down. We currently advertise on cable as well, and it's still the same one budget.
Okay, great. So, I mean, you when you advertised then, you were hitting all the same key areas. You didn't actually leave customers in your initial market, but you actually moved to Novi so you could still cover everybody. Yeah,
we were running 2 locations for about 7 years, and 4 years ago we finally closed the Livonia location and, you know, making home in Novi the permanent one.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, as I understand it, you didn't start in Novi in the location that you're at, but you had another location in a strip mall. How did that work? And you know, moving out onto 10 Mile, have you seen a big benefit in that move?
Yeah, that was a real big move for us, business-wise. The prior plaza that I was in didn't have as much visibility as one would like. I'm a marketing major, and everyone said, well, location, location, location. Initially, 13 years ago when we moved into Novi, my location was Novi, not a specific spot, not a specific strip mall. And we were there for 11 years on the same corner, 10 Mile and Meadowbrook, and now we're just kitty corner from that on 10 Mile now. But the drive-by traffic, the visibility, not to say even the parking, the other mall was larger, and it did draw some more business, but it's a specific store that we have.
So you don't have a lot of people coming from Farmer Jack, per se, into a golf store.
No, I mean, that's kind of a niche business that we ran, and that's why we were able to survive for 11 years. And 5, 6 years ago were some real good times. Michigan economy, the Tiger Woods winning everything and playing to his best, kids coming out of every corner to play the sport, which we really cater to the custom fitting, and then that's where we found a real good niche to be in.
Okay, so you've got the great location, but what about the services? I know Golf Tech is unique. It's not a warehouse per se, just selling product, but you've got some real niche type services that you offer your clients.
Yeah, we've got quite a few different machines that no one else has in Southeast Michigan, and with those it enables us to custom fit and design golf clubs for a specific customer, for their specific swing. Be it anywhere from 2 years old to 90 years old, we're able to fit each one. I don't think from being there 13 years that I've built 2 of the same sets of clubs. There's so many options out there available in head design, shaft design, grip, sizing, that it really makes it a fun job to be at every day.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Can you tell me a little bit more about the process that you have to go through? Assume like a customer like me were to walk in your door and want to have a set of custom clubs done. What would I have to go through to get set up with you?
Yeah, initially we take everybody in on a walk-in basis. There's no need for an appointment. Some people set up an appointment with us. I've got a few of the other workers, and we build relationships with each other and our individual customers. So at a certain time we might do an appointment. But if you just were to walk in off the street and we would go through a fitting process, it would take about 45 minutes. We measure everything from swing tempo, take measurements for length, grip, shaft, flex. There's about 5 or 6 key objectives that we have to meet to be able to build a club for somebody.
Okay, so you're also looking at like how are they just starting? Are they novice, expert? I mean, maybe
Yeah.
What types of questions would you ask them?
Yeah, we'll definitely ask their golf experience, and along with that, we can build from beginner golfer to the professional. We've worked on professionals clubs. We build beginner golfers all the time. Some people might think it may be a little overkill to get a set custom fitted, but the statistics show that about 80% of the clubs that people walk into, say, a big box store, and they purchase, only about 20% of them really fit the consumer.
Really?
And even at a beginning level,
That's surprising.
it's very important to get custom fitted and at least start with the right product. If you were to walk into the store and I built something that was too stiff for you or too weak for you, then you're going to go out and play, and you're not going to play to the best of your ability, and you may then change your swing
To fit the
when
club.
you don't want to do that. Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, you talk about measuring swing tempo. Do you use any specific equipment to do that type of analysis?
Yeah, it's one of the big investments that we made with the new location. At the point 3 years ago, they came up with a launch monitor. We did purchase one of them. We have them in the store, and we use them on our fittings. Now, what the launch monitor will do is you will hit a driver, and we mark the golf ball, and within an instantaneous second, it will take 2 photos of the golf ball within about a 10-inch span.
Really?
So that will give us all the feedback and the detail that we need to read. Now that's going to read the golf ball. Your swing is going to relate to that path. So through a series of, I say, 25 to 30 swings, we can find the average path that your swing's taking by what the golf ball has done. And then from there, we can pick out the right shaft, the right head, come out with the right length, and design a golf club for you.
Okay, that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
Golf Tech. You know, it's what you call your store. Did you guys come up with any type of, does it mean anything, or what's the history behind it?
It's not real catchy. Obviously, we are very technical in what we do and what we produce on every set, be it a custom club or a repair. It was when my dad first started the business, they were called DeWolf Golf, and that was a guy's name in the area that was big into golf, had a store up in Pontiac that my dad kind of mirrored his store off of initially. But when I came into the program with them and bought into the business, I wanted to look at what was DeWolf doing for us, and it wasn't much. So freshly out of college with a business degree, I said, we need to change this. And his regular business is Golf Technologies Incorporated. So instead of calling it Golf Technologies, just kind of shorten the version down and call it Golf Tech. And we think it shows a good image of what we do. We've got the channel letter neon sign on the outside of the building, and people will look at it, and it says Golf Tech, Custom Clubs, and Repair.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. It's catchy. I mean, I've driven by it before, and until we had the opportunity to talk, you just don't understand what's behind it.
Yeah.
With the Michigan economy right now, there are challenges in all different, sectors of business. Are there any challenges in particular that you're facing right now?
Right now, it's not too bad with our location in Novi. Overall, like we always say, we're always for a fight for that discretionary income. Be it with the gas prices going up, people losing their jobs. I've got to be very creative on the products that I purchase to make sure I take my full discounts and that we're able to be profitable on every product that we sell. So right now it's in Novi, not too bad. We've just recently had a few golf stores close in Novi, and it is pushing business through my doors. And we've broadened our horizons a little bit, and we do work for numerous country clubs in the area. So we've had to adjust to the different market right now, but overall we've been very busy.
Okay, that's very good. You had mentioned that as a differentiator for your business, you actually still go out and acquire products. You actually do the purchasing of the goods. And can you tell us a little bit about that? Where you go, what things you look for, and how that benefits the consumer? It's
kind of the fun part of the business too. It's behind the scenes that the consumer that walks in the door doesn't see. But once a year, the PGA has a large merchandise show, and that's located in Orlando, Florida. So we do pack up our bags and head south in the end of January, which it's always good to get out of town if you're a golfer. So we go to that show for 4 days, and it's a little bit of fun, but it's all work. I mean, we're literally working 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day at that show, trying to source the product. It's coming from all over the world now.
Yeah, definitely.
Not just locally. It's coming from everywhere. So we're able to visit the manufacturers. We're able to get hands-on training with the new equipment. And we're able to discuss with them on a one-on-one basis what this product will do for myself, for my customer. And you're able to put them all on a level playing field, and they're competing down there. And everybody wants your business. So that's worked out really well. And I missed it for a couple of years, and I went back last year, and I won't miss it again.
Yeah, definitely. So. I mean, one of the things that I thought was pretty cool when I had walked into your store is you have this product that goes on the back of a motorcycle. I'd never seen it on the road before, but you'd explained it to me. Yeah,
that's something real novelty. A company called Auto Links out of North Carolina, and I'm the distributor for Southeast Michigan, and it's basically a trailer hitch adapter.
Okay.
And they do have them where you can put a single set. They've got it for 2 golf club sets, and they do have one for 4. So on the back of a SUV or a car, you can also utilize it too. And it doubles as a travel case. So if you're going to the airport and your car is full of luggage, you can still take those golf clubs with you and keep playing golf.
That's what everybody likes to do.
That's what we try to keep them doing.
Definitely. So. With these products that you're purchasing and bringing back to your store, are you seeing any trends in any particular area with your products?
Yeah, a lot of it. There's a new product out. It's a hybrid club, rescue style. The 3 and 4 irons are becoming very difficult to hit. And all the consumers are coming in asking, why can't I hit my 3 iron anymore? Why can't I hit my 4 iron like I did 5 or even 10 years ago? And what they've overlooked is the golf ball. The golf ball industry's gone just crazy with slowing down the swing speed and trying to make golf more enjoyable for your average golfer. And with that, when you have that reduced spin rate on the golf ball, you can't get the velocity to get the ball airborne. So there's new products that we bring in, and the hybrid's been very, very popular this year for every golfer. You see it out there on the Pro Tour now, and you see ladies and seniors buying 2, 3, 4 of them, replacing the products that they've already got. And for myself at the store, that's what you need. You need to keep things new. Things have changed a lot in the industry, and every 6 months now, we're finding some new product out there. So it makes my job challenging.
Absolutely.
But it's rewarding once you get a couple good products in there that you can really believe in to give your customer the best product you have.
And then you spend a lot of your time educating versus selling to the consumer, and I think that brings a lot of value to your customers.
Yeah, we have a lot of hands-on with each client. I mean, we even go to the extreme of saying they're a client of ours because we deal with them on numerous occasions to build one set of clubs. Unlike other stores, they walk in and basically you're a number. So the small business aspect of it is very beneficial in the golf industry, which I can see some crossovers in other industries as well. But for us, it works really well to deal with them. Numerous times they come in, "Hey Jim, how you doing?" Today was a perfect example. A customer came in and I built him a set of irons, 6-through pitching wedge, because he had a couple hybrids, but he's hitting the 6-through pitching wedge. I made him so well. He came in, he said, "You know what? Build me the 4 and 5. And I want to continue with the set." And they just come right back in the door and they're very comfortable.
Yeah, it's when you take that time to educate a customer, they're going to understand, they're going to want to come back, they're going to see the value that you provide. They're not just going to go after the price only.
Right, yeah. I mean, you'll still have a little bit of that within every purchase, every sale. But during my travels and finding the products, I'll look at a few different heads, a few different components that will give us the opportunity to be able to put them into their comfortable price zone, if you want to say.
Oh, absolutely.
So if they're looking to spend a little more money, get a little bit more for their product, then we've got that. But if they want to watch what they're spending or just kind of things are tight, we can accommodate them as well.
Great, great. When we come back, we're going to get a personal perspective on Jim.
When you build your business in Michigan, you really do get the upper hand, like United Solar did. When they needed to expand in order to produce solar cells that worked as roofing shingles and exterior laminates, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation was there to help. They found the resources, incentives, and partnerships to make Unisolar's new facility a reality. Call or log on to see how they could do the same thing for you too. Wherever in the world you compete, Michigan can give you the upper hand.
You're watching Novi Pulse. I'm Greg Chapman, and joining us today is Jim Kitchen of Golf Tech. Jim, I understand you have 6 children. Can you tell me a little bit about your family?
Very busy.
Very, very busy.
Yeah, my wife Andrea and I, we've got Luke, Jake, Allie, Zach, Elizabeth, and Andrew. Range from 14 years old at the oldest. He'll be 15 this year. Jake and Allie are twins. So they're 12, they'll be 13, and then we go all the way down to Andrew, which is 18 months.
Oh, wow. So you've got a new one as well.
Yeah, so we're changing diapers again. So, yeah, it's very busy. I love him as much as the business. It's at time hard with especially the little ones to be away from them. So, the business is busy for 6 months out of the year. And then the wintertime, we're able to kind of sit back, and I do get definitely more quality time with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But try not to miss any events that they have. They're all very active, playing basketball, baseball, soccer, swimming, all the way down to, being a little kid, 18 months old, he's jumping on the skateboard the other day.
That's great.
And you look at that, and you never want to miss it. So it's a strong value that I have, obviously,
Yeah,
to be able to balance business with the family home, and so it's a good thing. Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
Definitely. Now, are any of the kids golfers by chance?
Yeah, we've got Jacob is playing more, taking lessons this year again. The 2 older boys, play not at an extreme level. They're into the football, basketball, a lot of what their kids and friends do at school. But they've definitely all been exposed to it, obviously. I think we're going to start the youngest one, the little one, out a little sooner because he just loves hitting any ball around.
That's great. Yeah. That's great to have that.
Yeah.
Now, family is very important, business is very important, but what do you find most valuable or fulfilling about, what you're doing?
Yeah, on a business perspective, every customer, just to be able to help them better their game, to look at their faces when we're done, even after they pay, they're very, very happy, extremely happy. And then the return visits that I get for them, it's the most fulfilling thing that you could come up with for a business. I love going in every day. Every day is a new challenge. Every job, like I mentioned earlier, is different. There's a lot of similarity in what we do if we're just reshafting a club or if we're regripping a club, but every one of them's different. So that's similar to what we have at home as well. I mean, every day you could imagine with a big family, mom and dad are kind of like two ships passing in the sea, at times, running and taking them to their events and sporting events, and we try to keep it together as a family. We definitely eat our meals together, go to our church on Sunday, and we remain a solid family through as much of the running around and chaos that you can have. We always say, my wife jokes with me, I say it's organized chaos. So there's a sense of stability at home for the kids, and that's what's very important.
Well, it sounds like you enjoy your family and your business very, very much. Now, what drives you to be so successful?
The 6 kids, household, and just to make every customer happy with their purchase of what we've done for them. And if it's not me helping them, then it's my employees that work with them, and then I overlook pretty much every job that's put out through the door. So that's what, you get a great sense of accomplishment working on all the different clubs.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you mentioned that you're not only the business owner, but you're doing the purchasing, you're working with clients. You've got a lot going on in the business.
There's certain days that I just need to get to the office early and just start putting on a lot of different hats. I do everything with the bill paying, purchasing, building the products. I'm hands-on in the back of the room, workroom, next to the employees, and it's just it's rewarding. But summer months can be pretty strenuous.
I would believe so.
Trying to find time. If I could only find a few more hours in the day to do it, but everything I know then when I turn off the lights at the end of the night as a business owner it's all done. So that gratification takes me into the next day, and I come right back and start doing the same thing every day.
That's great. So you've got the business running smoothly today. Now, what's your vision for the next 3 to 5 years? Do you have any plans?
Yeah, right now we're going to stay in one location. We've been looking at other areas within Michigan to take a business and open another store. But right now we're going to plan on staying where we're at. The new location's working out tremendously on 10 Mile. And just every day work to make it better for the customer, so we have the return visits and the repeat customers, and that's what drives a successful business.
Yeah, absolutely. So have you looked at other locations out of Novi, or do you believe that you've got such a solid customer base here that you would stay loyal to the community?
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. If we open up something else, there'll be another investor. The business definitely demands a hands-on business owner. You can't really get into silent partnerships and try to run a business. It's not a business that's easily franchised. Very tedious work. Some people might think it's just put in a couple heads and shafts together and gluing them together and going out the door, but there's a lot of work, there's a lot of pride that goes out with every club that I build, and same thing with my employees. So yeah, we're definitely staying in Novi, and that was a big move when we moved on to 10 Mile, and it's been increased business for 2 years for us, so that helped us definitely. And I've got a lease for another 4 years, so I'm here for sure for 4 years.
You're here at least 4 years.
So I win a lotto or not, but yeah.
That's great. So, your business is very important to you, but what if your business was unimportant? What other type of life pursuits would you engage in?
I would definitely have to say travel. I've done some travel once out of the country, that's about it. And having the kids, as people well knowing and the viewers watching the show would say, you know, we've got 2 kids and it's just so difficult, you know. So we even try to look at different areas to go with the kids as a family. And there's a lot of hurdles, you know, 6 kids, 2 adults, and you need 2 hotel rooms, and kids aren't old enough to stay with themselves. So yeah, if I was able to have something to do, I would say to travel, take some time, you know, and see what's out there.
Absolutely. Now, would you play golf when you travel?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I definitely play golf. My wife loves golf. You know, we all do. You know, and I know down the road, and I keep reminding her, you know, we're just working for, you know, getting the kids through school. Obviously, we've got the little ones now, so the next 3 to 5 years are going to be a big relief once they're in school. It takes a lot of responsibility to get them up there, and then the oldest will be then going off to college. So my job at home isn't going to end anytime soon. So
maybe in 18 years.
Yeah, maybe.
One final question for you. If you were to offer some advice to today's young people coming into the world of business, politics, media, what would you say to them, and what kind of guidance would you give them?
I would have to say, through my experiences, I'd have to pretty much say 2 words of adaptability and risk. They can be used separate, but adaptability is important. Depending on what type of business they're looking into, what type of career they're going to head to, they've always got to be able to adapt to change. Change is something that if you're not able to adapt to it, then I believe you're not going to be as successful. It'll happen year to year, month to month, day to day, but for my current business, yeah, you've got to be able to adapt to change on a regular basis and make the proper moves. And with risk, it's the risk and reward. Everybody's heard it. You've got to measure your level of risk that you want to take. Obviously, being younger, and if they have no kids, then they can be a little more riskier. At my age and with a family, investing in stocks and everything, you've got to be a little moderate with what you do with your risk.
Absolutely.
So that would be the 2 things I would say. You know, anyone growing up or looking to get into business or any other career is just be ready for everything. Yeah.
Exactly. Very, very well said. Very well said. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining Jim Kitchen, owner of Golf Tech, and I on Novi Pulse. Please visit our website at www.novipulse.com for upcoming showtimes, to listen to previews of future guests, and to watch this and other programs at your convenience. I'm Greg Chapman, and you've been watching Novi Pulse. All right, very good.
Thank you.
That was good.